Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this game's worth their time and bandwidth. Today's game is Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. One half epilogue for Yakuza 6, the other supplemental story for Like a Dragon. Is this shorter Yakuza game worth playing before Infinite Wealth? Let's find out. Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name is probably the longest title of any video game ever, and is also technically like Yakuza 7.5, so I'm just going to call it Gaiden for the rest of the review. Anyway, it's a return to the classic Yakuza beat-em-up structure of the games with Kiryu, as he's also the protagonist again, or rather Joryu, as Kiryu has faked his death at the end of 6 and is now going by an alias while working for a shady political organization. However, when his handler and fellow agent is kidnapped and a larger conspiracy involving Yakuza is unveiled, Kiryu has to work from the shadows to once again save the Toho clan from its old problems and make sure the events of Yakuza 7 happen. You have two zones this time, the ever-classic Dotonbori in Osaka and the new gorgeous neon-dripped casino boat called the Castle. While the usual wandering around doing sub-stories and beating up fools is here, the structure slightly tweaked. Kiryu has a new friend called Akame, an info dealer who needs help around the city and so gives Kiryu a bunch of tasks to do for her. These range from the usual sub-stories to smaller bite-sized stuff, such as bringing people certain items, taking photos of specific objects, and so on. They're surprisingly addicting and fun, and add to an overall progression system for new skills and loot. Combat feels very much like Judgment for those familiar. Kiryu has two styles now, his classic dragon style, which is pretty much the same, but his real new kit is his agent style. Kiryu has gone full James Bond, equipped with a grapple lasso, exploding smokes, a drone swarm, and rocket shoes. It's hilarious and fresh and exactly what the series needed to make combat both fun and funnier. Aside from the usual beating up people and progressing the story, the main minigame is the arena. We will not only do solo battles, but also recruit characters that will fight with you in big brawls. They level up as you use them, and you can actually take control of any of them at any time, which is a lot of fun. Oh, and also Pocket Circuit's back, because of course it is. Aside from that, that's basically Gaiden. It's a return to the classic Yakuza formula, just refined down to a shine, in a shorter game overall that still has plenty of side content. So what did I like about Like a Dragon Gaiden? Well, hot damn is this game's story engaging. Some of the best villains in the franchise, gray morality all over the place, real entertaining set pieces, fantastic side characters, and a breakneck story pacing make for a brisk, exhilarating experience. And the ending is a gut punch in all the right ways. Additionally, the new side content structure is really good, basically adding tons of mini sub-stories along with the longer, more detailed ones, and all feeding into a progression system that feels gratifying to engage with. And lastly, this game has some absolutely gorgeous visuals. The Dragon engine has always been great at colored lighting, and the castle really shows off how this engine works at its best. When it comes to the bad, the upgrade system being based on money like Yakuza 0 isn't my favorite, as street fights with enemies don't always drop cash, which makes them feel kind of like a waste of time, and money being the end all does screw with some of the balance. Additionally, while I do love the new combat, it is not even remotely balanced at all. Grapple completely dominates those street fights where you can basically insta-kill anybody. While the arena is a fun, chaotic mess, it just further shows how out of whack all of the numbers are here. And lastly, this is a weird con, but this is the first Yakuza game that I say you absolutely have to do your homework. You will need to play Yakuza Like a Dragon before this, as well as Yakuza 6, as this spoils pretty much a massive mid-game plot twist in Yakuza 7, and all the emotional payoffs don't really work unless you're familiar with Kiryu as a character across the entire franchise. What I'm saying is this game has homework before I can recommend it to anybody, which may turn some people off. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale: must play, maybe consider, and don't bother. And Like a Dragon Gaiden is a fantastic epilogue to Kiryu's story that takes all the lessons learned from the Judgment games and spits out one of the best Yakuza brawlers in the series. With its gripping story, incredible characters and visuals, fantastic set piece moments, and great combat, you really couldn't ask for a better send-off for this older style of Yakuza. If you love this series, play it. No notes. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you played Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, can you say the entire game's title in one breath? Let me know in the comments. And regardless, if you love this series, make sure you're playing this one.